We just spent 119 days in a 250 square foot RV, and we're going to share with you the biggest ways it changed us. I'm Dawn.
And I'm Chip. We just completed our first 4-month cross-country RV adventure.
We always dreamed of doing an RV adventure in our retirement, and this year we got to do it.
We are newbies to the RV lifestyle, and we knew that this experience was going to change us in numerous ways. We just didn't know how much or what these experiences were going to be.
That is true. To give you a little background, we left Florida at the end of May and returned 4 months later in September, right around the time Hurricane Helene was hitting.
Over the course of the 4 months, we drove 17,000 miles. That included both pulling the RV as well as driving the truck to numerous hikes and excursions. We visited 2 countries and 19 states.
Oh, 7 U.S. national parks, 3 Canadian national parks, 5 U.S. state parks, and 2 national monuments. But tell them how many miles we hiked, sweetie.
So over the course of our adventure, we hiked 490 miles and a total of 81,000 feet in elevation.
Okay, is that really true? Did we really do
I think we did that. We were able to visit 4 of our 5 children, all 9 of our grandchildren, as well as meeting up with neighbors and friends, as well as making a lot of new friends along
We
the
did
way.
make some good new friends
We
along
did
the
indeed.
way. Yes. So just how did this adventure change us? Because that's what this video is all about. Number 1, we became better communicators and life partners. This was big. When we first started planning this trip, we realized in our communication that we had a tendency to listen for responding rather than understanding. Once we figured this out, we both committed to changing that. And this was invaluable on our trip, whether we were navigating, driving, looking out for bears on hikes. This was just so essential. And because we have these better communication skills, I feel like we're closer, we're more supportive of each other, and we just understand each other better. And that's something after 20 years of marriage.
Our second change was just being incredibly happy. We would wake up every day and looking forward to a new adventure. We'd be surrounded by such awesome beauty. There were mountains and lakes and flowers. It was absolutely incredible. We were also a little bit cocooned during our trip.
True.
Because in many of the campgrounds that we stayed at, there was no internet. We had no TV. Many times we had no cell phone service. And so we relied on one another to provide our own happiness and live every day to its fullest, and every day as happy as we could possibly be.
Number 3, we improved our overall health, both mental and physical. One reason was because we were completely challenged with this new way of life. I mean, technology, mechanical things went wrong. We had to investigate and fix it. That flat tire incident. I mean, seriously, we were challenged in ways our brains were working, our bodies were working. A walk in the woods has to be one of the best natural medicines that I've ever experienced. The smell of the Douglas fir, the beautiful sunshine and vitamin D, the daily exercise that we were exposed to. Our immune systems right now, I mean, they're working great. They're top notch. Bring on the grandkids, because right now we can handle all of that. I think our waistlines actually trimmed up a bit. We both needed to tighten our belts, and all of our pants are kind of hanging a little bit loose. Hey,
somebody had to actually go out and purchase a belt.
I did have to. Yes. Look, there's a Target, sweetie. Let's stop. I need a belt.
So our fourth lesson was that we found ourselves sublimely content.
Oh, yes.
We were living a very, very simple life. We lived in a 250 square foot RV. We returned to Florida to realize that our living room has more square footage than the entire space in the RV.
True.
But once again, our needs were quite simple. We needed food, we needed water, we needed shelter, and we needed a map. And in terms of things that we really wanted each day, those were pretty simple too.
Yes.
We were hoping for good weather. We were looking for a parking spot, preferably near the trailhead. We wanted to make sure that we had scheduled amazing hikes with incredible views. And probably last but not least, we wanted to make sure we had an accurate GPS.
Oh, please. Yes. Last but not least, our fifth biggest change, we spent nearly every moment of those 119 days living in the moment and feeling extremely grateful. You know, it was more than 15 years ago that we laid out in the Arkansas night at Crowley State Ridge Park. I still remember that park, looking up at the stars, kind of looking over at other RVs. We were in a tent and started maybe talking about, hey, this might be a cool thing to do.
Yep.
Get an RV, go back and forth to see the grandkids. True. Kids and grandkids. True. And to see that happening, sorry, to see that actually happening this summer put us in a very grateful space, so that we woke up when we were out on those hikes. There wasn't a part of us that wasn't so grateful and happy and a little bit surreal, like we're actually doing this. So look, being grateful, I learned a huge lesson this summer of how important that is for health, even mental health, physical health. It just resets that vagus nerve, which, is important, especially, if you're doing stressful things like driving RVs for the first time. So I hope that being in the moment, staying present, and being grateful is something that we carry on.
Yeah.
Now that we're back in Florida.
Yes, it's very easy to be grateful when you're surrounded by such beauty.
Yeah.
And now the challenge is to bring that home. And we may not be in Glacier National Park, we may not be in Yellowstone, but we should be waking up every day being grateful for everything that we have.
Yes.
Live the moment.
And Hurricane Helene really put that to test.
Yep.
I feel like we're very grateful that we didn't sustain any more damage and that our friends and family are all safe.
So, sweetie,
yeah,
should we mention a couple of the other changes from our trip?
What changes?
Well, like our hearing.
Oh my gosh.
So spending time in a 250 square foot RV, you think your hearing is perfect because you can hear everything that your partner says.
I thought, oh, we're getting so healthy. I'm getting my hearing back.
But when we returned to this home, we realized that was a bit of a farce and that our hearing is just as bad as it always was.
Yes, we're back to, huh? What'd you say? What? I can't hear you when you walking away from me talking. And the other thing is, we can't find anything now. It's so easy to find a cell phone or your AirPods or whatever you need in that small of a space, but not back in this house.
Yeah, you realize that there's only a couple places that things could be. It's either on the bed, beside the bed, or beside the recliner. That's it. So, lastly, we truly want to thank you for taking the time and following our adventures this summer. We greatly appreciate all the fine comments that were made and all the attention and love that was shared with us as we completed our 118-day adventure.
We felt your love. We truly did.